First essential that you need in your basic special effects kit is some liquid latex, and it must be a skin safe one, which will be one that's low ammonia and it's designed to be applied directly to the skin. If you get the wrong stuff, you will get burns on your skin, irritation, and also you need to check with this as well that you're not allergic. So it's best to get like a tiny small pot. You can get pots about this size of latex from your local costume shop, costume shop, or like a craft store, that sort of thing, and just test a little bit just to make sure. And if you get any irritation, don't use it, it's not worth it, because some people have quite nasty reactions to this. But yeah, like I said, make sure you get one that's skin safe. This is the Mayron one, and I got this off Amazon. It's lasted absolutely ages. It lasts 30 months once open, because it tells you in the little symbol thing there. This will do loads of looks and effects and stuff and last you a long time. Not cheap, it's about 20 something pounds, but like I said, it'll last you ages. Or you can buy little bottles for a couple of quid, but they'll only do a couple of effects. But if you're only doing a couple of things, then you just need a little bottle. So yeah, liquid latex that will help you to do scars, prosthetics, zombie skin, age, like wrinkled skin, aged skin, that sort of thing. There's loads you can do with liquid latex. I've got different waxes here, but this one is an easy to get hold of wax. They sell this in the range and in Hobbycraft, and it's just a very basic scar wax, and you can use that to make cuts, grazes, broken bones, boils, warts. There's loads of stuff you can make with this stuff, and it's very useful for a basic kit. If you buy it from the range or Hobbycraft, it comes in a kit with the blood, the wax, applicator, sponge for stippling effects, and even like a little pan of red paint, red face paint. I've got a couple of different ones which I haven't used much of yet. I've got some sim wax and some modelling wax. I've used this one a little bit. It's a similar sort of thing to the scar wax, and then I think the sim wax one is the one I haven't used much of, because it's very sticky and you have to sort of warm it up a bit more. But there's different sorts of wax depending on what you want to use it for. Obviously if you buy a Mayron one, it's going to cost you a little bit more. I got these off Amazon fairly cheap, they were on sale. But this one's nice and cheap. It's about £3 if you buy it individually, £3–4, and it will last you absolutely ages, and it works really well. So that's latex and scar wax. Then one I got into like more recently is this Skin Sculpt stuff, which is a skin safe silicone, and as you can see, it comes in parts A, B and C, and it is a clear silicone that's nice and soft and squishy. But then when you mix it with part B, it will set to like a rubbery consistency, very similar to latex, but obviously without the latex. So you can do all the stuff you could do with latex without having to use latex if you've got some of this stuff. So if you can't use latex, this could be an alternative. This is also a good alternative to scar wax if you find scar wax a bit hard to manage. I tend to use part A and B. Part C is to make it set faster, but I tend to just use part A and B. It gives me enough working time then. And I've used that in I did some bits and bobs in a theatre, like behind the scenes, which I'm going to be doing again soon. And I did some scars on an actress's arm to look like self-harm scars, and I used this stuff for it. I find this works with multiple skin tones, which is what's useful about it, because I've got the clear one. So there's that as well. Basic scar and nose wax, Ben Nye. This one's got more of a colour to it. This is NW2 Fair. As you can see, it comes in different colours. Again, that's basically a scar wax. Then there's 3D gel, which is very similar to using gelatin. You can create effects and stuff with this, like cut, scratches, burns, textures, that sort of thing. And all you do with this is you submerge it in some hot water to soften it up, and then you can apply it to the skin to create textures and effects. And if you look in the tub at the minute, it is solid because it sets like a jelly, and you have to dissolve it, like soften it with hot water like you kind of would when you're using gelatin. So that's another alternative that you can use if you don't want to use like scar wax, silicone or latex. You can use some of this 3D gel stuff. I will try with this a bit more. I found this a bit fiddly, but I will try using that a bit more. A face powder that matches your skin tone, and this is a matte powder, just something to take the shine off the scar wax. And if you've used latex, you need to put like a little layer of powder over the top to stop the stickiness, or when you're demoulding it you need a little bit of powder. It just helps remove it from the mould and also stops you sticking to everything, otherwise you'll just get latex everywhere. Another good one is Scab Blood, if you can get hold of it. This was a little tub for about £3-4 off Amazon, and I use this to fill wounds because it gives a nice texture to the wound, and it looks like old blood, which is kind of a nice effect as well. So you can make it look like there's an old wound with some old dry blood on it. And also, like I said, it's good for filling wounds, and that's fairly cheap. Then the other essential I got was a Bruise Wheel. This one's a Mayron one, and what I like about this is it's really easy to create the bruising and shading effects. It's really well pigmented, and you just like dab this stuff on and make your effects. Obviously I'm just quickly showing you how to mix some stuff. This is really good for making new bruises, old bruises, and adding colour to wounds and that sort of thing. Brushes, obviously I've just got a range of makeup brushes. I've just got one out here. This was a Model's Own brush I got from Boots. It's nice to have a good fluffy brush for blending stuff in. And then also what I tended to start off with was eyeshadow. Now this one's just a random one I've picked up, so it hasn't exactly got the colours I would use, but I used to use this to do bruising effects first of all when I first started. It's just finding one with the right colours in. So obviously this one's just got black and stuff, but I can use that to make it look like my skin's dirty or something. So yeah, eyeshadow palette is useful as well. And then obviously, like I said, some sort of container to keep everything in. All you got to do is just make sure you keep everything nice and clean. Wash your brushes and keep everything as sanitary as possible. When you're using the skin sculpt as well, you've got to make sure that you use separate spatulas for part A and B, because if you get some of part A into the B tub, you could end up setting the whole tub and ruining it. So yeah, that's it. That's my little special effects basics, what kind of stuff you need in your kit. Hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.